didn't know how to cook, and you sit down and you ate the food. Now, you were grateful that you had the food, no doubt, but I'm talking about that the food being so blah and so bland that the dog beside you hopes that you don't give it to them, him, her, them. Okay, anyway, meals in prison. What else? We've already established that the beginning of prison is God's number. The devil, oh gosh. Can we even begin to imagine the community and the conversation that goes on in prison about what is, what has been, what will be? What is, what has been, and what will be. Okay? You tell me that we as human beings out here that's not in prison do not engage in these types of thoughts all the time. What else? Raw sex. Well, they're having to do whatever they do in prison to deal with that energy, because that energy is flowing through us all the time. Period. It flows through us. It is creative energy. Sexual energy is the highest form of spiritual energy known to mankind. The only thing, people most of the time stop at intercourse. They think that's it. That's what it's for. It is creative energy. It involves art, music, drama, building of bridges, Einstein's theory. It is the same energy. It is the energy we use to eat. It is the energy we use to move, to exercise, to dress ourselves, to solve problems, to drive cars. It is all sexual energy. Okay. So anyway, these guys that are in prison, literal prison, they are having to deal with all of these issues, the same issues that we do out here on earth. And most of the time, we don't have to be sent to prison. We're dealing with them inside of our body. All right, let's see. Now, that was the heart. And this is going to be the personality, 16, 17, 22. Is that right? 16, 17, 22. Wow. You know, that's a master number. That 22 is a master number. And in numerology, there's 3 master numbers that we deal with, 11, 22, and 33. Well, this is the master builder. So while these guys or girls are in prison, they are having to build, to construct, to create a whole nother world. Otherwise, there's no way that they could survive in prison. They couldn't live in prison, because you cannot live in prison in the same way that you live out here in the free world, because they're being told when they can go to the bathroom, when they can get up, when they can go outside, when they can do anything. So they are having to use that energy of the 22 to build a whole nother world while they're in there. Same thing for us. I mean, very same thing. But when you add 22 and 15, you get a 37. Now, this number means nothing to any of you. I wouldn't think. It might. Maybe that was a broad statement. But as far as I'm concerned, it is a magical portal. Whenever you see that 37, 3, 7, 1. Okay? 1 is the pioneer, the innovator. Okay? The researcher. This is the investigator. Investigator. Boy, that don't look right at all. But anyway, it's right today. This 371, this magical portal. So in prison, these guys and girls are being lured. I like that word. Lured into themselves to find out who they are, what they are, why they're here. You know, there's so many religious conversions that take place in prison. And, of course, I'm sure that some of them are for, it would seem, not for those reasons that religious conversions are necessary. But that's our perception. We don't know what the journey is for any person or why he or she does anything that he or she does. But they, by going to prison, boy, this is going to be a bold statement. it's very fortunate, because they are literally enabled to walk through that doorway, the magical portal of disrobing who it is he or she has been on this outside world. We don't necessarily get that unless we seek for it. You know, the Bible says, those who seek me diligently will find me. But if you're called to prison, you have to do that. You have to come from all this busyness, all this disarray, this noise in the outside world. When you go into prison, you are in silence. I mean, of course, you're surrounded by people, but I'm saying you are in solitude. You're in silence. And you are forced, more or less, to find out who you are. When you're in jail, the same thing can take place, or you can learn how to be a better criminal. But see, you don't know what that means. You just have an idea about it. We're all criminals. We're all trying to get the most for ourselves in the easiest and fastest way we can without putting too much effort in it. So let's say jail. We already know prison is 37. Let's see what jail is. 1, 1, 9, 3. Jail. It's a different energy. You know, let me put that up there for prison. Okay, that's 37 for prison. But it's, how about that? You know, that 3 and 7 is a 10. 1 and 9 is a 10. And 1 and 3 is 4. So we got that 14. We got that 4 here. So in jail, you've seen me do this before. I'm going to do it again. See, jail is a short term. Sometimes. The wheel of fortune. Okay? And it continually turns. Turn, 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 turn. You're on the bottom. You're on the top. You get to the bottom. You get to the top. You get to the bottom. So in jail, what you're doing, the heart of jail on this day, is this re-examination of your life. Now, how many hours do you spend examining your life, observing what you do? Let me stop just a second. All right? I'm going to observe Paula. Paula is standing before a flip pad. She's staring into a camera. She's holding 2 hands up. Her palms of her hands are turned towards the ceiling. She's holding a black magic marker in her left hand. She has a blue top on, black pants, and blue shoes. There's books and chairs and other things. Now, did you see how quickly I went away from myself? These guys that are in jail or in prison, they are forced to stay within themselves. All of these things are on the outside. All of these things are reflections. What is here? What is going on here? Now, you are able to perceive through the medium of television an energy. That's what you're getting. Even though you're seeing this person with blonde hair and she's talking, this energy of exchange is going through this medium, and you're picking it up, in addition to whatever is going on with you. But how much time, or if I hadn't called your attention to what's going on with you? What are you feeling? Where is that sexual energy that is creative energy? Where is it manifesting in you? Do you have pain? Are you uncomfortable? What about your feet? What are you experiencing in your feet at this moment? How about your right hip bone? The hip bone connected to the leg bone. What are you feeling? What are you experiencing? Are you hot? Are you obsessed with worry, dread, guilt, remorse? What are you feeling this instant as you hear these words coming out of my mouth? My point is, these guys and girls that are in jail that have to stay in jail due to the fact they cannot get a bondsman to get them out, or, whether that be financial or otherwise, or their term prevents them from being released. They are experiencing this wheel of fortune. We do every moment of our existence. There's something occurring all the time, and yet we move through life and we think nothing is being altered. We are so fixed on this monotonous, repetitive walk that we are incapable of knowing what is going on the inside of us at any given moment. And if you can get in touch with this energy of what is going on inside of you, the world changes. You don't believe me, but it does. Okay, 14. 14, you know that's energy. Okay? What did we say? 4. They got to build a foundation. 14. And what was the last word? I was going to deal with body, because I'm comparing prison and jail to being in a human body. 2, 6, 4, 7, 13, and 6. Wow. Okay. 19. All right. 13. Death and transformation. So that is the heart of a body. So we are not here to glorify the body. We're not here to desecrate the body either. But we're not here to magnify the body. We are here to transform, to die. You've heard me say on other shows, you cannot take you where you are going. Okay? There's no possible way you're going to take this body where you're going, but that's not what I'm talking about. You cannot take even the essence of whatever it is that I'm here. When I finish this show and walk out of that door, I will not be taking this Paula. I will take the Paula that has accumulated, endured, participated, and migrated through all of the energies and events that occurred during these next few moments. But Paula, that's stupid. You're just going to stand there and talk and, in front of that paper. That's my point. You really believe that. You believe that I'm a human being standing here talking to you and there's nothing else going on except what you can see. That is so far removed from the truth. And the ones that can really get in touch with that, besides, the Buddhists and the monks and the prisoners, are people who are interested in learning that. In learning that there's so much more going on in our lives at all times than just what we are experiencing. Now, how can that be? Well, first of all, you're not really experiencing what you're experiencing because you're only experiencing your mind's interpretation of what you're experiencing. And if you could quiet the mind, like these guys are forced to do. Now, it seems like I'm paying homage to the guys in prison and in jail, the girls and guys, and maybe I am, because we're all in prison. Like I said, we're all doing time here on earth. And the ones who are in prison or jail or in our bodies as well, the ones that can be grateful, the ones that can be appreciative, and the ones who can celebrate with not understanding all of the wheres and wherefores of why we're here and what we're doing, are the ones that will and cannot be locked up. Okay? Transformation. What was the other one? 6. The body is a vehicle of love. All right? But along with that love is conflict. Now, this love, I'm not talking about the love that you think that you have, because if you can call it love, it's not love. The love I'm talking about is an impersonal love, and it has no self-vestment in it, no self-invested in it. It loves the flowers as much as it loves human beings. It loves the air as much as it loves whatever it consumes in food. It loves life, it loves death, it loves beauty, it loves ugly, it loves all that one can think of and one that cannot think of, the ones that we cannot think of. Okay, then it's a 19 is the, what was that, the body? So the 19, innocence. Okay, now, our body is innocent? Wow. How in the world can our body be innocent, Paula? I'll tell you how. Oh, I'm looking at that and have I moved my chair? Look at me, I'm off-centered. I'm really off-centered. Oh, okay, something happened, magical happened right there in the control room. But anyway, and that's a good point, you know, about being off-centered. We are off-centered. Most of the time, we are off-centered. And I'm not saying that the guys and girls in prison are balanced or have found any perceptual and conceptual center, but I'm saying that they are aware of being in prison. We are not aware that we have the ability to establish how, Paula? Innocence. How do we establish it? We get rid of all of the flim-flam damn, you know, all the rickety-brackety, brockety-brook mess that has been cloaked upon us. Cloaked upon us. No. Nobody did it to us. No. These are things that we did along the way. You know, we have, just like these guys and girls that go to prison, they did whatever they did in order to take them there for the season they're there. We did whatever we did to be back here. If that's true, I don't know. You know, it just seems like it makes sense to me because it takes more than one lifetime just to overcome greed or lust or envy or gluttony. But I mean, it couldn't be true either. It's just as 50-50, whichever way you want the wind to blow. But the point is, we don't know. We have no way of knowing. And so we adopt philosophies and ideas and religions and thoughts and methods and ways, menus of life that we follow. Yeah, we follow them. We follow them religiously.